Hello everyone, my name's Josh from Videos by Josh, and video shooters rejoice because we just got a new set of mid-range cinema lenses to choose from if you're in the market for cinema glass for your mirrorless camera. That's right, Zeiss has released a new set of 6 cinema lenses that they call the Nano Primes, and a cursory look at this kit communicates to me that Zeiss is back in the mid-range space. It's been a while, but it's good to see them return. For cinema shooters who are familiar with Zeiss lenses, you'll know that there are 2 other lines of lenses made by Zeiss. There's their Supreme line, which is their extra premium Cine line, and then there's the CP3 line, which came out, I think it was 2017, but that was their mid-range cine glass. You see it all over the place. It's super popular, but a bit long in the tooth, or so it seems, because Zeiss now has their Nano Prime kit, which is focused directly at mirrorless shooters. So let's break down the kit really quickly. Zeiss is releasing 6 new cinema lenses in 18, 24, 35, 50, 75, and 100, all at a t-stop of 1.5, which is incredibly fast for cinema glass. In fact, it's much faster than the outgoing but still in production CP3 line, and it rivals some of the other mid-range glass in the Cine line, perhaps better built as well, but we'll get to that. These lenses are meant to cover full-frame sensors, and they go from T1.5 to T16. They have a 12-blade rounded iris, and a couple extra features unique to Zeiss lenses, like native lens data communication. These lenses can communicate with mirrorless bodies. Now, these lenses come with a native E-mount, so I've only seen Sony native communication, but there's rumblings that the mount might actually be changeable, and to see these lenses change to like an RF or another mirrorless mount and maintain native data communication, that would be super interesting. Zeiss states that the Nano Primes provide a versatile and subtle sharpness reminiscent of the Supreme Prime, so that's the lenses at their very, very top end, and that they would make an excellent choice for a B cam or a C cam as a cost-effective alternative on multicam shoots. Of course, Zeiss doesn't say this, but it goes without saying that these lenses would be phenomenal on an FX3, FX6 as a primary video camera. If you don't want to spend supreme money, the look coming out of these lenses looks amazing. I think it would be a great choice for someone looking for cinema glass. And Zeiss, of course, is a well-respected, well-trusted name in cine glass. They make durable lenses designed to last a long, long time. And overall, they just have a good reputation in the optical development industry. People know who Zeiss is, and that's for good reason. The difference between the new Nano Primes and the CP3 kit developed a number of years ago is that these lenses have been designed specifically for mirrorless cameras. So where the Nano comes with a native E-mount, the CP3, the older lenses, came with a PL, a standard mount for cinema cameras. But a PL doesn't let you do the things that these lenses can do with their native communication, which seems to be a technological advantage in this newer glass. As is customary with cinema lenses of this caliber, they all have a consistent look, they all have a consistent build quality and construction. All of their focus rings are equidistant across the lens, and then you have a 95mm filter thread so your filters can go across all the lenses. This is hallmark stuff. This is very straightforward stuff that you can expect in cinema glass, a level of consistency outside of the photography space. Now, you get that consistency, but what you don't get is a incredibly budget-friendly option. For the 6 lenses and a case, you can buy the entire set for $25,950 USD, which is pushing the top end of the mid-range in cinema glass. Now, what products are these lenses fighting? Well, let's break down some of their competitors. Of course, you have the outgoing CP3 set. This is a long-tested, long-standing PL mount variant of Zeiss's optical formula. If you own these lenses, you can't go wrong, and unless you need the digital integration of the mount, I think you'd be happy just with your CP3 lenses. Way at the bottom of the financial offering, you have sets from Rokinon and Samyang. These are extra entry-level cinema glass that would not compare optically to this new Nano kit. You also have options from companies like Dezio Films in their Vespid lines. Dual Lens has a competitive cinema glass offering, much more compact with some other added characteristics like vintage flare if you're looking for something of that nature. Moving a step up, you have the Rokinon Zine line, which, I mean, that's probably the prettiest looking build quality in a cinema lens. I really like the look of the Zines. That's something you're going to have to consider. There's also Meike, Siru, and some larger branded lenses like Sigma Primes, Canon lenses if you're shooting on RF mount. There are a lot of options for mid-range cinema, but But simultaneously, I feel like the market hasn't been saturated. I certainly think there's a space for the Nano Primes, and obviously Zeiss does too. These are excellent looking lenses and a spiritual refresh to their highly popular CP3 line. Zeiss has spent a number of years sitting back on their mid-range cinema lenses, and now I think Zeiss is making a good move in releasing something that more digital creators can get their hands on. So who is this lens for? Well, I think this lens is for the cinematographer, the videographer who finds themselves shooting at the top of the line in photography. Maybe you're using G Masters, maybe you're using high quality photography lens, but you want to unify your set. You want to have the construction and the niceties of a cinema lens and the consistency and the repeatability of something that's going to last you decades and decades and decades. And perhaps maybe you can forgo some of the creature comforts of the E-mount. Personally, I shoot on a lot of G Master glass, and I rely on autofocus and other built-in technologies like stabilization in my line of work, and that's perfectly fine. These cinema lenses, in theory, are going to provide a lot more consistency, a much more rugged construction, and just generally features that you wouldn't find inside photography lenses. So these lenses are for the aspiring cinematographer with a budget that stretches past the budget or entry level in both cinema and photography. I think they're going to be popular, obviously with Sony shooters, of course, but like the CP3 line with its native PL mount, I want to see what other lens mounts these lenses can support. I want to see if you can transition it to RF or another mirrorless mount, and then how popular these lenses get with those mounts. I think to limit a set of cinema lenses just to the E mount would be a mistake, and I think part of the reason the CP3s were so popular was because it was PL mount. You could just put it on everything. So I hope to see added compatibility with these lenses on other mounts, but we will have to wait and see. I also think this marks an interesting trend in cinema lenses. For the past, I don't know, decade, a lot of cinema lenses, and the higher up you go, the more expensive you go, the more you'll see this, are only available in certain mounts. For example, you'll find PL mount or EF. EF is still super popular in cinema glass, and there's a couple E mounts out there, but it's not as common. So to develop a set of cinema purposed lenses for the E mount specifically, and then to give them digital integration where the lenses can actually talk to the camera, I think is a really unique precedent to set with these lenses. This idea of cinema lenses electronically talking to a camera isn't completely new, and it wasn't invented by Zeiss. Samyang has been doing this with their new line of tiny cinema lenses. There have been other companies that make cinema lenses that talk to the camera. But to do it at such a price point and to establish a precedent that a cinema lens is more than just a dummy lens that you operate with tools outside of its barrel is interesting, and I think definitely the way the technology should be going. You shouldn't be forgoing these assist tools. I mean, camera bodies are so technologically advanced now. They have so many options that why wouldn't you want to integrate your lens in kind of a cooperative way with the body? I mean, it just makes sense. I think it's a good precedent to set for cinema lenses, and I applaud Zeiss for taking the initiative on this one. So those are my thoughts about the Nano Primes, the set coming out from Zeiss. Damn, these look good. I hope to get my hands on a set soon. But the important thing is, what do you think about these cinema lenses? Will they sell? Are they competitive? And what do you think about Zeiss's inclusion in the market? It's been a while since we've seen them with a new offering here, so I'm excited to see how they're going to do. Oh, I didn't even mention that these have to fight against those Cooke lenses too. These lenses also have to fight against the Cooke SP3s, and I know that's kind of a different market. Those are smaller and a little more niche, but I mean, Christ, they have the Cooke name attached, and I think that does mean something. They're very similarly priced, another competitor there. What do you think about Zeiss's new offering in the Nano Primes? Let me know down below. I appreciate you guys very much, and I read every single comment. I take my time to work my way through them. Thank you for watching. I appreciate it, and I'll see you in the next video.